What if I told you there's a 2,000-year-old box with Jesus' name on it and it might prove he has a brother? And yeah, I've got pictures. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a deep skeptic, also a pastor. So the box in question is something called an ossuary. And this is an important thing to know, that the way that they buried people in the ancient Near East in the first century, they would allow the body to decompose on a table in the tomb. And then once it was just bones, they would gather the bones together, they would put them in a box, and they would write on the box who it was. And then they would put that box up on a shelf in the tomb. It's kind of beautiful because the way they talk about burial is that they say that the person was gathered to their fathers, and literally that's what happened. So the box in question is called the James Ossuary, and it looked like this. Came on the market, in the antiquities market, in about 2002, I think. And which is an unfortunate origin story for it, because you can't guarantee the provenance of it because it didn't sort of come directly out of an archaeological dig. And on the box, there is this inscription. And the inscription says, James, son of Joseph, brother of Jesus. Brother of Jesus. Now, let's just be clear. Jesus is not an uncommon name in the ancient world. That name is about, one scholar said it was about 9% of the population. So very common name. And we don't have Jesus of Nazareth or Jesus the Messiah. So it's not 100% clear that that is what they were intending. However, when you add more artifacts, it becomes less and less common. And so James, son of Joseph, brother of Jesus, those things make it very, very unlikely that there are another group that is those three names in those sort of relationships. So then there's this group called the Israel Antiquities Authority, the IAA, and they will sort of verify data on antiquities, which is really important, especially in this part of the world where there are so many. And so they looked at the inscription and they said that the part that says brother of Jesus looked like it was a later addition, or in their words, even a forgery, which means that the guy, I think his name was James Oden, who originally put this on the market, was brought to trial. Yes, I know, archaeological tea. So the reason it's important to mention this, because once you hear the IIA says it might have been a forgery, you might think, okay, well, we can dismiss this. However, in the trial, they realized, they came to the understanding that it's actually not as clear as the IAA said. And so ultimately, this guy was acquitted because there was so much doubt over the results of the IAA determination. And let's be clear, scholars are divided on this, but whether it turns out to actually be the Jesus of the Bible, it is a really fascinating artifact and information. If they were on a quiz show or something.